that you're thinking about, unless your opponents are willing to play like Draven in the aggressive picks. I don't know if Stixxay is going to be down to play Draven or one of those really aggressive answers. Luger, we have seen play Draven. Stixxay, I'm not sure if that's really in his repertoire. I can't remember him ever playing Draven in his pro career.
I'm looking it up right now.
But
Draven, result not found.
Yeah, no Draven games at all in his pro career in 400 games.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that he's not practicing in solo queue, because it is absolutely meta in solo queue and champions queue now. But it may just be another scaling option. A lot of people do just go like a Felios and stuff if they're not a Draven player, and they just kind of try to scale alongside the Sivir. So I'm guessing that that's going to be the option here. Tristana would be interesting. Tristana's actually gotten a number of buffs. I think Tristana's kind of underrated. Yeah. And it's also kind of one of those iconic picks, but Twitch instead. So another scaling pick, and this is really good in lane against this.
And it's his second ever Twitch game. Across his, not just LCS, but even, you know, Challenger Series, things like that, his like 500 game career, his second ever game on Twitch. So one that I assume you have to prep because we know Sivir is such a big pick in the metagame. Twitch, Kog'Maw, Draven, like those are the three that are so often counter answers. Was like Zeri where you scale alongside, and that's obviously fine as well. It worked for him. But Twitch, his second ever game in the champion.
This is one of those champions, though, that you need help to stay safe. You cannot really self-peel whatsoever. You got your flash, that's it, right? So it is going to be a lot more difficult to navigate some of these team fights. Poppy, the answer here. It just feels like we're just doing Poppy Trundle trade every game. So, you know, I'm expecting that River will just go towards the Trundle side. But that also feels less River style. Like River, when he's doing well, is usually more on the kind of playmakers. So there is a possibility that he does buck that trend. Blind Ahri coming through. So now you either grab the Trundle or you counterpick this, and then if you counterpick the mid lane now, you're gonna get banned out in the jungle quite a bit. So I do think it's gonna be Trundle, but it is instead Lissandra. So very interesting. This does mean that they don't really care about the Trundle, I guess, because I'm expecting that to be banned 100%. And then we'll just have to see River play, you know, another kind of like standard meta jungler. Like there are still a lot available. You can always get towards, you know, Viego or whatever. So that's not really going to be a big concern, but I expect like Viego, Trundle to probably be the bans. You could do Wukong as well if you're concerned about that. He could still go Lucin, whatever. There's just too many junglers to ban, but you definitely want to take out the priority ones.
So weirdly, I wouldn't mind, of all things, Bard as a support pick here for CLG in this game. I don't know exactly how much experience Poome has on it, but any non-dash AD carry, especially when you're the only threat on the team, Lissandra is not a 1v5, you know, team fight champion. It's like, you just lob that at Twitch. If he ever fails to dodge it by running fast enough, which is basically Whimsy, only you can cast in time, they just collapse on you and you die and you can no longer win this team fight. You don't have the damage to kill any positioning at all. Just like one of the like absurdly ranged just like works engage tools. We're not gonna be off the table though here. I'm curious if Bard does come through because I really do think it fits these sort of mono threat comp as what it looks like right now for Golden Guardians. As you mentioned, the Viego is one of the options. Trundle, is it gonna be here?
Trundle seems like the obvious one, unless they're just saying he's not a Trundle player, but he has actually played it in the LCS, so I feel like you have to ban Trundle. When you're playing a tank jungle and you leave that up, like it's just such high value. But instead, they are going to ban out the Ornn, so very interesting. Prioritizing taking away that top lane tank instead. But it does mean that, you know, Trundle is on the table. Maybe River won't do it, but it does feel like the obvious ban.
I will say, of his like 8 most played champions, Trundle is his lowest win rate across his career. Yes, he's played it 8 games, or sorry, 11 games? Or 11 games, sorry, but 45% win rate across 11 games hasn't been all that strong. Renekton continues to be highly prized.
Wow.
Golden Guardians want lane dominance for Licorice.
Yeah, and they're blinding it, and they're saving a jungle pick for last. So now I don't think he's going Trundle.
Jungle Twitch!
Because if you are last picking your Trundle here on 5, that is absolutely troll. So they have to have some sort of like conditional jungle pick that they're waiting to see the entire draft here from CLG first, and then they're going to try to surprise them with something, right? Because otherwise there's just no shot that you do this. It is going to be Karma. So Karma has been kind of hinted at a couple of times, and Poke is generally pretty good in the shields, right? So Karma, I feel like matches up pretty well with the Lulu. It can be difficult to actually, you know, kind of deal with this. So we'll see how well this is going to go. It's additional move speed as well for the Sivir, which is also very, very valuable. It's not going to be the Nasus as much as that would be fun.
He's pointing like, no, that's where Aatrox is. It's up there on the top left. It's 2 A's. Look, top left corner. It's Aatrox. It's like, yeah. All right, cool. So the A synergy is on point. Aatrox back in now for Dhokla, this time not against the Poppy. It's on his team.
I will say, not a lot of lockdown, right? They don't have any hard engage at all on CLG, which is kind of why I was thinking Sejuani might come through, you know, as an answer to have that additional bit of engage.
Yeah.
They do have some kind of divers and flanking, right? Like, obviously, Ahri can follow up. The Poppy can go in. Aatrox can look for some sort of a flank. It is Volibear jungle as their 5th pick here. So, really looking for more of a bruiser. And CLG, to their credit, had the right read that he wasn't going to play the Trundle, that he didn't want to go for it. So definitely a bit of a scrappy pick, not one that scales super well. Their top side is like very early mid game and is really threatening because they have a lot of lockdown. Volibear scrapping like level 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever is very, very powerful. Volibear at 6 and Renekton at 6 is one of the strongest dive duos that you could actually have.
Yeah.
And Lissandra is a great roamer. You have a lot of point and click CC on this team, a lot of dive, a lot of lockdown. But I do think that it's going to be hard for some of these champions on the top side of the map to really be having that same kind of relevance later on into the game. So early game, I do feel like is top side focus for Golden Guardians. Late game is going to be all about the Twitch. So it'll be interesting to see if Golden Guardians can really execute on this.
Yeah, gonna be fun to watch for right now. River, this should be a cakewalk, but these have been tough fights, and it's 1-1 here in game 3.
And traditionally, the bottom seeds, when they make the playoffs, get clobbered, right?
Usually.
That has been one of the kind of criticisms of the 8-team format is that, well, who cares? You know, the 8th seed is going to come in, they're going to get 3-0'd. Everyone on the desk predicted a 3-0 for CLG. You know, everyone on the dive, myself included, predicted 3-0 for CLG. They've already, you know, shown that it's not going to be that easy whatsoever. Looking very competitive in this series. And now, you know, to me, the big question is just how will Stixxay look on the Twitch? If he has another amazing game off the Zeri, then it becomes much, much more difficult. And he is playing Cleanse, so he's still giving respect over to the Ahri.
Yep.
That's really the only CC that you actually care about here. So he's saying, all right, you might be playing Everfrost. You're for sure going to have Charm. I'm going to cleanse that Charm. And, you know, that's the only really thing that can kind of slow him down, besides potentially like a stun from Poppy or something. But Tigris is standing by with Golden Guardians coach Sam. Let's see what he has to say.
All right, first off, checking in with Golden Guardians. Quite a game in game number 2. What is the overall mood with the squad?
Yeah, honestly, we're pretty comfortable. I think for our team, we're like nervous starters. So getting the game 1 out of the way, it was like a long one, but I think it got the nerves off. So I actually think we're pretty confident right now.
And coming in with that confidence, you'll need it. A lot of early game plan here, the Volibear lock-in. How confident are you and Golden Guardians being able to execute that early game?
I'm really confident. Eric's like a really good Renekton player. And River controls the early game flow really well. I think we got cheese the first 2 games early. So if we get a stable level 1, I think we'll do a lot better early.
Looking to avoid the cheese here in game number 3. Let's get back to it.
Ironic they picked the rat, avoiding cheese. Come on. Like, do you not know how drafts work? Type synergies, come on.
Well, so far so good. Nothing happened at level 1, so cheese avoided.
They know he's here, by the way.
It is going to be a dive. They're going to try to set up. He's level 1. He could flash in and try to knock him back, but I think they're just trying to zone him off XP. If they can keep him away from XP, don't let him get 2, then it could be pretty difficult. But now it is going to be the push back over towards the Gromp. So he will get 3 off Gromp as long as he gets it. They know that he could be in the area here, but this could be a difficult one to answer. I don't know. It's tough to pull off. Now that they're 2 with Cleanse and Heal, I don't know that it's going to work.
Smite available at the same time on both junglers, and it's going to be Contractz claiming it. Level 3, thank you very much, goodbye. 90 gold goes my side. Without Smite, he can't contest the blue buff, but he's going to stick around.
He's pinging that he's heading back in, so he's going to look to just try to fight and just push River out.
Can force the leash. Obviously, River has decent damage here, and it does force the blue to reset. So, however, AblazeOlive is here. Good flash. Oh, he didn't need to pull that. What are you...
Yeah, he didn't need to reactivate the E. He could have just waited, right? You E towards him, or honestly...
Oh no, Olleh! He's been stuck in place! The Q's gonna land! Can they kill him? Ignite is on! Summoner heal, he's still burned! Auto! Poome gets first blood!
Yeah, what should have been a good collapse for Golden Guardians goes awry. I agree, AblazeOlive really misplayed that. He doesn't even need to claw. I think you just walk at him, right? Like, there's only one real thing he can do, and it's try to flash down from that position, it felt like. So, didn't need to necessarily claw in, could hold the claw for after the flash, potentially. Or just, once you see that he's gonna flash, don't actually reactivate the claw. Either way, it is CLG coming out on top there. A lot of summoners expended, but they do get the kill on Olleh. Now, River up towards top side. They're gonna look for this dive, potentially. It is, of course, warded out.
And they're gonna not go for the play. Ahri has TP and is in base. It's an unstoppable teleport.
From Poome.
Poome happened to roam as well. They had no way of knowing that one other than he's missing from bot. He might have gone.
Yeah.
And Golden Guardians make the right call to not go.
Yeah, you know, it's always tough to make those calls, right? But could they have just bursted him down? I feel like maybe with Fury and level 3, like maybe you actually just flash empowered stun, full combo from Renekton. You have the follow up with the flash stun as well from a PTA Volibear. That's a lot of burst, right? This guy was at 40% health, but they're gonna look for the blue buff, not able to take it away. Contractz coming out on top on this.
Yep, and AblazeOlive is here, but Dhokla's getting all the farm out of that turret right now, so the roam means nothing. The invade both go the way of Contractz via better smiting. Smite was up for both, 450 goes hit, and it was the Poppy once again claiming it here. And River will go through and take down the rest of his camp, but looking pretty good here. CLG up more gold than just the first blow to provide.
Doing well in the lanes thus far, so we can watch this one more time. So, you know, Contractz is going in to fight River off of the buff, really just trying to harass him. This clearly has been a game plan for CLG. Look to get in the face of River. Yeah, he's already in the choke.
Just walk.
You just walk. There's literally no reason to actually take that. You're already between him and where he's trying to go, so you don't need to use your movement skill there. You just walk over at him, and then after he uses the flash, use the E to follow. And at the very least, you force that flash without really using anything, but maybe even get a kill. Poome flashing in, finishing this one off. The last second of Ignite was not enough, so good calculations there from CLG, able to finish off that kill, but out to another early lead here. And this time, you know, Stixxay on a champion with a lot less agency, so it's going to be more up to his team to enable him. You can't do it all by yourself on Twitch.
The only time it really works is you get to Ruin King early. Like, if you do get an early lead, you get to just like stealth out, and if they don't have the control wards there, you can stealth out between waves and look for, you know, I can just like jump on Palafox, force his ulti out or something. If it's down, maybe I get the chance at a kill or something. It's not the same, don't get me wrong. You're not going to 1v5 team fights or, I mean, really 2v5. Like, every single time he's always had Olleh there buffing him up, giving him the boost speed. But yeah, this is going to be like, okay, if the fight's good, you're all dying instantly and we win the fight. But it's not the like, okay, it's 2 against the world, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, you have to create space for the Twitch, generally speaking. You know, I agree. If you get the early late Ruin King, especially if you actually have supports roaming and you find the Sivir, Twitch wins that every single time, right? Like, you will always win that 1v1 on one item. So that is definitely a real point of power. And Twitch has shifted somewhat, you know, in the dynamic because of the Blade of Ruin King rush. Of course, it used to be that back in the day as well, with Blade of Ruin King active was really, really strong. But it pushes back your Hurricane and your IE very, very far, because generally it is Blade of Ruin King into Mythic. Then you need your Hurricane, then you need your IE. So you have to wait a long time before everything is fully ramped up. The Golden Guardians looking for a dive here. Contractz in the area, does see them now.
Information gleaned. They know he's on the sweeper. They're going for the bot lane dive right now. Flash is down, diving in. They're going to find Poome. Stixxay gets the kill. Then they got to drop aggro. They're going to do so safely. River, though ignited, will walk away alive.
Yeah, that's great for Golden Guardians. Getting the kill onto Stixxay means so much for them. If it was 4 members bot, they would use the flash and everything, they lose waves mid, and the kill didn't go on Stixxay, it would be more whatever, but I think it's a really good play because of where the gold does go. Get that Twitch accelerated here early on. Will cost AblazeOlive some mid lane, because he's going to lose likely a full wave, a little bit of chip damage. I'm not sure if a plate will end up going down mid or not, but the push here for Licorice, trying to get this wave into the tower, is very far ahead in the farm right now, has done really well in the 1v1 early on, and obviously, some of the top lane shenanigans did kind of hurt Dhokla a little bit, I think, kind of moving away from the wave at his tower at a time.
And tracking the fact that, hey, I don't really have a lot of safety push over this one right now. Dhokla could ult and try to chase me, and so Luger plays it a bit safe, wants to this one in, but as he drops, puts his ward down, now knows Ahri's here. He's going to have to get away pretty soon. First knockup does land, and now the dash away, but Stixxay is in the fight, 1v2 for a second. Here comes Lulu's support. Shield comes in, nearly finds the first kill. He's burning down with the deadly venom, and Luger now low as well. Flash auto not in range. Wouldn't have quite found the kill. Poome just survives it.
Yeah, barely able to survive. I thought he might have gone down to that poison. Was really, really close. It was a 2v1 to start the play out, but Stixxay just stands and fights with the early 6, and now they're going to get pushed completely off. They will survive, but they're going to lose probably 3 plates here. You know, maybe even more, losing the wave as well. So definitely a costly play there as they try to get aggressive on the Stixxay. Has the cleanse to actually get out of the Karma route. And should be 2 plates and at least 1 wave denied. So very nicely done. They get that kill on the first play. Now going to be, you know, even further ahead here. And Stixxay in the interview, you know, he talked about feeling really confident against this bot lane, that they had been getting the better of them. And I have to agree, in this series, this has been the difference.
Yeah, huge right now. 10 CS up. Cannon Wave will tank a lot of this though, and so the rest of the gold should be earned, but Obviously, 2 plates look good as both teams are focusing towards the bottom lane. The kills are both down here.
Yeah, so we can watch top play again. Obviously, a little bit slow to react, I think, there from Licorice, but did get out. Did Palafox look? Is it the flash forced? I'm assuming he probably had flash charm. Yep, so does force the flash on the roam. So nicely done there by Palafox, and now Licorice going to be having to play a little bit more carefully. Anytime someone could be in the area, there is that danger of getting taken down.
You can see it takes boots too as his recall. Like, you'd love to, I mean, most often you tend to look for things like the Gore Drinker build path, you get the Iron Spike Whip, but he's like, well, if Ahri's roaming, I don't want to flash. Ignite goes on, actually trying to go for a lot of damage here. It was Spellbook to keep in mind, so wants to burn that one to allow his TP back up. Palafox burns nothing.
Yep, just wanting to TP back to lanes, that's why he's going to expend it, but Dhokla now in trouble here. River is arriving.
Well, has flash, will it matter? When's the bully stun going to land? Now, not an easy place to walk anymore. Flash is up, will it matter? Gets the first sweet spot. Second one's going to land on Licorice as well, just drain tanks for a while. And the ulti times out. The Licorice have another big stun available soon. Wants to wait for River's Q to land. There we go. Can combine them together, and that means no flash angle allowed. But bot lane for CLG. Contractz is already here, and that means Stixxay will give this wave out to Luger.
Yeah, Stixxay getting zoned away. So it will be CLG's time to get something back on this bottom side, but Dhokla, back-to-back games, you know, dying there in that top lane. This one, of course, not a 1v1, but Licorice able to combine with River, utilize that early power, get the kill. They are taking some plates down here to try to compensate, and the Herald will come down. So that's a full tower taken here bot.
Open with the ult, gonna get some decent damage with the wave mostly dying. You can still tank this, to be honest, and the turret's very, very low. But it will keep the turret alive, and just the ulti for some damage. The River comes around. They say it's enough to take this fight, but CLG really want to finish this turret, and they will try. Decent damage to Stixxay, but with River really over the front line, they're gonna be okay for now. Now, it's still 3 minutes away from Unleash Teleport, 3 minutes still up for turret plates. There's not immediately a rush to make this happen.
Yeah, they obviously want to finish it off before the plates do fall. They could potentially go for the next wave. The charm lands.
He's up. Good stopwatch. Gets away from Contract's tackle. A little bit of Q damage out of the R. The knockdown a ward. Drake is still up, but without an ulti and really no mana on Olleh, this is going to be a tough one to play for.
Yeah, that is a really high value stopwatch there. That was the flash out of Contractz to try to get the tackle in. Another charm lands, though. Has to be somewhat respectful, but Golden Guardians hanging around the area to actually deny that wave. So they clear out the wave, and then it means it's safe to recall now. There's no way for them to actually knock down that tower right away. Poome just trying to play a little bit of zoning duty, keeping AblazeOlive away from that wave mid as long as he can.
Blue buff finally. Let me grab on this side of the map. Golden Guardians claim it there. I believe the first one was theirs in the end, but was the site of first blood for CLG. Golden Guardians now in a gold lead right now as that kill went in the top side. Looks pretty good. Cannot get the other half of the E out enough. Licorice goes diagonally. Could have gone sideways. Would have gotten away from the pullback. Means a bit more damage goes through to Dhokla as he once again dances around the Q sweet spot and lands it.
Yeah, you can see that Licorice is also going Blade the Rune King. So he's really going for the 1v1 here, trying to index in that. It is a build that is very high risk because generally in team fights, you are just so squishy, right? So you have to be careful about how you're actually navigating these team fights. But if your read is that, hey, I can continue to bully the 1v1, and that the only way the opponents win team fights is by ignoring me and killing Twitch, then I can see the logic, right? Yeah. So we'll have to see if he can actually make that work well, but definitely could be focused down in that front line. So we're gonna have to be playing these team fights out very, very well.
Yeah, I mean, this team does have pretty good backline damage, right? Twitch, ideally, is using ulti, using Hurricane, and actually hits backline a bit. Volibear is, I think, outright best played when he is a diver. Renekton, kind of the same boat. They don't want to hit frontline and hold frontline. They actually want to go threaten somebody. And so I can see that if they just, like, are able to get onto the Sivir or the Karma or the Ahri and just say, yeah, we're going to punch you down, and Twitch will help with it, I can see that combo actually working pretty well. Yeah,
totally. And Golden Guardians, you know, despite there only being 3 kills, they've been very active on the map. It feels like it's constant that River and AblazeOlive are threatening down towards this bottom lane. So very clearly it has been the game plan. Get down towards bot, push CLG's bottom lane out of here constantly, and get the Twitch ahead, which they have been able to do. It's not a monstrous lead, but it definitely is there. That early kill obviously was really, really nice and is slightly up in farm. Have been able to keep this tower alive. Only another wave coming in. This is your last chance to actually get that tower down before the plates do expire. So I think it's likely going to be held on to by CLG, or rather by Golden Guardians.
You can see Luger, well, yeah, the recalls do come through, so
I'm a little bit surprised that they defended that heavily and then just recall on the last wave.
I think they don't want to sit in this lane against Power Spike enemy. As it turns out, CLG did roam down, so if they were here, they would have been dove upon. So maybe mind reading, maybe just kind of kismet, but ends up being first turn of the game, going to CLG. Gold lead at a flat 420 right now. First Drake aggroed, but not attacked as the mid lane is cleared away. Both power spikes are in though. Luger has his Kraken Slayer, already had it before the turret went down. Stixxay is on Ruin King. Good charm's gonna land. AblazeOlive gonna be rooted, does not land his own. Still though, more damage done by the Golden Guardians mid as Drake will be attacked.
I mean, Palafox spent his Q on the wave, so even if you have the charm, there's not really much to follow it up, right? Like it's an auto and a W. That is about it. He's not playing Electrocute or anything, so really not much damage coming through. Volibear kills these dragons out very, very easily, so gonna grab the first dragon of the game here for Golden Guardians. This one is very even. Feels like the most even so far of the three. Gonna be looking for that pick.
3 kills in 14 minutes. This is not my CLG. Okay? I mean, what is going on here, guys? You have one? I want to see more blood on the floor.
Yeah.
Tough to believe your enemies if you're a CLG fan.
I mean, honestly, maybe they're getting a little bit gun shy because the last two games, the series in general, is kind of not going the way that they thought, right? Game 1, monstrous early lead, but weren't able to close it as cleanly as they expected. Game 2, they end up kind of getting slapped around by Stixxay on the Zeri, so now looking for the pick on Poome.
First engage lands. Poome still has flash and buys a lot of time. AblazeOlive burning the stopwatch, has to get away, does stay alive, but Stixxay's firing, but Stixxay cannot get the kill. TP comes in for the Aatrox. Is Dhokla an easy target though? And looks like no charm will not land on anybody. Golden Guardians forced out. Palafox wants in. Goes for Olleh. Good indeed. Azael sidestep by Olleh.
Yeah, nicely done there. Both TPs expended. There's been a lot of scrapping, but it just hasn't resulted in kills. They haven't been able to find the lockdowns there. They do get the stopwatch though, and the flash off of AblazeOlive, so that is actually really big. Tried to go for that aggressive play on a Poome, but no one was really in range to actually follow up on it, so ends up just costing himself some valuable items.
Autos in, Ruin King slow comes across. E has to be timed against the spell shield. Flash in for the autos. When does Luger spell shield? Waits it out, and now, nicely done. The flash smite to help. That's the game, and Stixxay waits it out the entire time, finds his near solo kill onto Luger.
Yeah, nicely done. The flash in from the Volibear for that smite, keeping him in range. Maybe he was trying to actually smite off that spell shield, but either way, I think Stixxay had it. Another great start here from Stixxay. 2-0, has the early Blade of Ruin King, upgraded boots. He's going back to base. Let's see how much he has. Not quite enough for a Noon Quiver, but 1,100 in his pockets. Stixxay is going to be a problem here again. Blade of Ruin King now is completed on the top side as well for Licorice, so he's going Blade of Ruin King into Tank Mythic. I've seen this a fair bit. It's kind of like more of a middle ground where you get that big one-item spike for the 1v1, and you're not trying to like hard commit to being really squishy, so you try to make up for the lack of health by going more of a Tank Mythic route.
And it's got him a 34 CS lead right now as everyone kind of resets around the map. Gold lead, non-existent. 1-0 in Drakes for Golden Guardians. We have not seen a lot of break points in the game. AblazeOlive in a rough spot. Looking for a claw, gets away from the charm. Ults to buy some time, instant cleanse by Luger. And that means he's gonna, or sorry, spell shield by Luger. It wasn't a cleanse, he just never even took the stun, so beautifully played. And CLG got a 2-assist kill. As down goes AblazeOlive, and out towards the top side, Palafox wants in. Olleh gonna flash one, can he dodge the charm though? Cannot do so. Flash wall tackle for Contractz, second kill on the board.
Chase is
Knock
on.
up there, this could be a whole lot of everything there. Stixxay burning the cleanse, but Stixxay burns down. River's on the way out, ulti to safety as best he can, and he's able to blast plant back out. CLG on the chase though. Dhokla no flash as he burned it on the chase. 3-0 CLG back in the driver's seat.
A lot of kills there, and really coming off the back of that AblazeOlive pick. Wrong place, wrong time. Been having a bit of a rough series here. Does get punished pretty heavily there. Look for the kill now.
Misses. I mean, I think ulti's on cooldown. The Everfrost buys some time, but Licorice has flash. Can't chase through with Dhokla coming around. Cooldowns are going to be back relatively soon. And maybe could have tried, but doesn't go for the play. Ultimately, nothing really happens.
Yep. Does force out that spellbook heal, but not too big of a deal. Licorice continuing to try to kind of exert his will on the map, but you know, that previous aggressive play from AblazeOlive where he went for Poome, cost him his flash, cost him his stopwatch, then he's on the wrong side of the map, gets caught out here, gets killed off, and CLG able to find a fight off of the back of that in the 5v4, getting multiple kills, extending this gold lead out to about 1.5k. And it does also slingshot Luger past Stixxay in gold, so right back in it after that, you know, picking up the assist, got a kill as well there.
Dash comes in, looking pretty good here as he is still up a completed item. Dhokla has not recalled off for the Gore Drinker yet, so Licorice should by all rights completely own this matchup until the purchases come in. Takes a little bit of damage. He's not stealth. Luger plays it safely enough. They trade the waves.
Looks like it will be top tower going down there for Licorice, though. No TP available for Dhokla. Knows he had to pay some respect over to Licorice, who's so devastating in these trades. Stixxay looking now.
Goes for the slow, and already the move speed forced out of CLG. Poome's shield, as well as the Shirelli, is active. Burn to get away. Stixxay, all he did was kind of stealth up with some Lulu help. She did summon her heal him for move speed, so a bit more was committed by Golden Guard. Actually, longer cooldowns were used by their side.
Yeah, are going to be able to get that heal out, but clearly you can see CLG are nervous about these engages. The AblazeOlive going in, though. He's got to be careful.
Yeah. Dangerously low. Stixxay can go for an auto. I think he's still in Viz. Waiting for the ulti play. Charmed River's not going to mean too much, but it's only a one-item champion. Dhokla ulti up, no flash.
But AblazeOlive chunked down very low, right? And he doesn't have TP, so I feel like that kind of cost them the dragon here. Does get knocked down to about 40% health. They're not going to look to actually challenge this. So AblazeOlive heading back towards base, so we'll be tied up in the dragon department here, 1-1. Very, very close game here between these two teams. 20 minutes in, a dragon apiece. Only a 500 gold lead for CLG after Licorice took down that top lane tower. And he is way up in the 1v1 now. 55 CS as Dhokla actually roam down towards that dragon. And Licorice is just going to continue to keep splitting. We'll see what he can actually get done with this lead, because it's a good 1,200 or so ahead of Dhokla, which is really, really nice. And he's got a lot to spend. So curious to see if he's going to go Sunfire. Nope, he's not. It is going to be Frostfire. So a little bit more of the utility style. I've seen Sunfire, I've seen Frostfire. Both are good.
Yeah, it allows him to put the slow down as opposed to Sunfire being a bit big of a damage bump. Ricochets will hit camouflaged units, and that one actually just jumped over to the Twitch. Information known that
exposed.
In mid. Indeed exposed. No engage to be had. Of course, Karma has enough shielding and move speed to provide the Sivir. Keep in mind that even if you have cleanse, if it's Montague or not Montague, the slow is going to be enough to probably get Twitch off you, so he can't just force the kill 2-on-2. There's just enough from Poome here. If he's left alone, yeah, it's bad. Controller in the mid lane, gets knocked down. 1-1 in Drake's gold lead, again, non-existent. Good sidestepping overall from Dhokla, getting away from AblazeOlive yet again. Eviction onto one, Shirelli is popped, trying to get away. A good flash for a time, and an ult to safety, as River will stay alive.
That was a double TP from CLG, though. So now they have no teleports to actually play the map. So they thought for sure they were going to be able to actually force that fight. Stixxay does have to be a little bit careful here. They got the flash off him, which is really, really nice. So dependent on that Ez Twitch. That is your only real mobility to stay safe. And because CLG did not commit flashes, I would not be surprised to see them, try to really force on Twitch during these next couple minutes, especially if Golden Guardians wants to fight at this next dragon, which they may just give it up because they don't have that summoner. You could easily look to try to just triple or quadruple flash right on top of the Twitch and burst him down.
On the bottom side, looking for Dhokla here. Oh, Licorice not in range for the stun. The ulti gives the move speed. I understand the attempt. It was almost there, and it would have been gold. Luger still playing this one well against AblazeOlive. Follows the claw. He takes it the way around. He can always just take the gate back to his side of the map, but walks mid instead through his own wards. You can see one right there. Knows the safe route. He can hold mid for now.
Yep, going to be staying safe. Is on his Zonias now, so the stopwatch missing no longer matters. And quite a big gold lead for him, it feels like, over where Palafox is. See how much Palafox actually has in pocket, 1,500. So, is going to be closing in on his second item here pretty shortly. But a good 800 in the lead for AblazeOlive. Has been in the wrong place at the wrong time a few times, but definitely doing well, it feels like, in the 1v1 there against Palafox in this one.
Gets within 2 spots again. Licorice certainly getting the better of these trades. Dhokla sustaining his minions is not that high. There is some. You can slowly regen back up, but Licorice able to whittle him down somewhat. You mentioned the CS lead. It still remains in the high 50s, basically.
Yep. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's like, until you complete your second item, you're not really going to be able to compete. And he's going for Death Dance, so it's going to be really nice for that 1v1 once Dhokla gets it, but you're expecting by that time, Licorice will have probably some heal cut in there. I would expect that to be his third item, whether it is Bramble or an Executioners or something. If you're playing for the 1v1, you are going to need that against the Aatrox. So if he can get that, even once Death Stand is done, you are going to be still feeling good about your spot.
Wants to let him away. Olleh puts the move speed buffs on a Twitch right before the shot would come in. Say if you're left alone, you're at least fast enough to get away. Ultimately just zoning out the squad, and mid lane outer drops.
I really like that he actually allowed it to expire as well, because when you allow it to expire, you get most of the cooldown on it back.
Look at the charm, but it's tanked up by River. Gets a stun across. Is it enough? Forcing Palafox right back up, but health bar's getting lower. Getting burned, but staying alive. An eviction onto one. AblazeOlive not in this fight, but TP comes in for Licorice. Dragon still a minute away. TP advantage. burned here when it turns into a whole lot of nothing.
There's so many fights for the amount of kills that we've had in this game. It has been really, really back and forth. People not hard committing necessarily to the fights. One team, gets an early advantage. The other team peels away here. It is Golden Guardians, though, trying to move it in for this red buff here. Will be able to secure that for themselves, which is really nice, taking that away from the Sivir, rather.
Yeah.
And going to be able to knock down that mid lane tier 1, which is going to make the setup for Dragon more difficult for CLG because they don't have this kind of bastion of safety from which to push out. So if you just send one member to push mid while you're trying to take river control, that person getting engaged on much more easily.
Well, here we go to the Dragon spawn. Blue buff handed off to Palafox. Well timed on this. 20 seconds on this Drake. Contractz the other side of the map, getting some more gold and experience. The gold he can't spend, but the third Drake of the game is coming up on the way towards Hextech Soul. Top lane outer may be a cross-map trade. Now keep in mind, Palafox does have teleport, so you can always play that side of the map and then rejoin the squad. Drake up in 5 seconds.
It is interesting. I would have thought that CLG would want to fight for this because there's no flash on Stixxay still, right? So that seems like such a big opportunity if you want to look for a fight around Dragon to really go for it. And they may well still fight for it, but it is spawned. And they're going to be pulling it right now. You can see that River and AblazeOlive on the map are over there. Dhokla's in the area, but it is the call to just make the trade, which really does surprise me. With Twitch having no flash, I feel like this was your window to really hard force with flash on Contractz, Palafox, and Dhokla all available. Seems like a tough fight for Stixxay.
But I think they decided to play around the mobility instead. Okay, we have TP advantage. You don't have one on anybody, so we'll go topside and for us to lose a tower. And, it's a plate or two. Here's an engage in the mid lane right now, though. Huge damage to Dhokla. Flash to safety. Stays alive. Gore Trigger heal buys a lot of time. And here's a pushback on a 1. Over the wall goes Volibear. Stixxay still firing, but Stixxay, be careful. There's an Ahri. Sidesteps one, cleanses the other. Stays alive. No, Luger gets the boomerang, and it comes back to bite the Twitch. Re-engage comes across for Dhokla. Heals back up. A stopwatch burn. Not enough damage here for Renekton, and a gift is claimed. Already it's 3 kills. Looking for more play. Azael over the wall, and CLG get the team fight they wanted after all. Down he goes. Foxfire burns him. Olleh left alone to watch his team die as Baron is next in CLG's eyes.
Golden Guardians look like they're the ones trying to force this fight here. And the flash still mixing from Stixxay really punishes them. CLG didn't even take that fight at Dragon, but Golden Guardians look for the pick, and they get punished. The cleanse was great from Stixxay, but not having the flash means he just couldn't create the distance, keep himself safe. A huge teamfight win here for CLG. They get so many kills, they get the Baron, and that could be the turning point in this game.
This looks huge now for CLG. A Drake given, a bit of money earned on the other side of the map, and then that mid lane fight reminded of Stixxay. I think it was even against CLG back in the regular season. This pick's fine, but then he overplays it, and he is the target who dies.
Yeah, they're going in here onto Dhokla. They make the call to try to burst him down. They already had the pre-ult up. Stixxay going forward does try to kite back, but he is slowed up by the Mantra Q there. And then as the Renekton gets ejected, you can see ulti over the wall here from River. Stixxay going back in, though, feeling way too confident at that point. The team was not there anymore. River's over the wall. Licorice was actually kiting back. So yeah, I agree. Stixxay really overplaying his hand, feeling very strong, feeling like he could get more. Was definitely not able to do so.
Yeah.
As everyone gets roasted. That is such a costly misplay there. And Palafox, the W coming just up in time to get him over the wall. Guaranteed they had the Baron, and now they're looking for the TP flank.
Going for hoping it works. Flashes up, ulti's up for the Twitch. It's all about him. It feels like AblazeOlive would love to get into this one and get the 4-man root, but they're not going to make the play happen. Instead, they play for Dhokla. Ulti's on. Can they burn the Aatrox? Stixxay in the wings. Flashes away from Ahri. 1 on the board. Shutdown goes to River, and the chase is on. They get a slow only. Palafox still cutting around to the side, jumps back over the wall. Big charge, big tackle, big Contractz. Boom, gets the kill into Stixxay. And we go for a bit more. River gets his shield, but River's running low on HP. Renekton gets a single kill. Still the Volibear will not yet die. Finally burns, but it might be enough for the back line. On the front is Licorice. Contractz still around. Bit of damage coming through for Lissandra. Passive tackle will not hit the wall, means no stun. But maybe they get the root. They get everything else here. Licorice wants to get it. The Q's coming across. I think one auto would kill. Jumps back up in a second, but Palafox is behind him. Honeyfruit buys a lot of time. Can't go for the jump just yet. Now it's available. Goes in, gets away from the charm. Stixxay gets 1, but will he get Olleh? No, the slow is going to land. And Licorice still going for the rest. 2 versus 1 on the map. A Q slow. And I don't think Contractz can win this fight. Stuffs the engage. May indeed be able to walk away. Golden Guardians somehow come away with a +1.
Yeah, gonna be able to get out of that with a lot more than I thought. Olleh looking for the chase here. Don't think he's gonna be able to get anything more for Baron Rico.
3, 2, 1. Q gets the interrupt. and he's already going to be able to find this one to the slow as well. The tackle won't do it. The shield buys some more time. Getting a lot of Q damage here, but the stun, it's up. The attack is there. Licorice gets a shutdown and a late ace. But they gotta run because Dhokla and Poome are here.
Why not just walk out? They know you're there. You can see the Baron buff minions. He was gone. He could have just continued walking back to base there, but Contractz with a really lazy recall gets punished big time. And what a crazy turn of events. I mean, it looked like CLG was gonna have the game after that Baron. They get the kill on the Stixxay, but Licorice just destroyed them in the back line.
And Nick Mull for this, which is so big.
Yeah, I mean, they go for the turn here onto Dhokla. Olleh was knocked out of the fight immediately. Stixxay, does get exhausted up, flashes out of the Everfrost there, getting a lot of damage down. They get that initial kill, but then as they're chasing into this corridor here, Contractz finds the angle here to turn onto Stixxay. Stixxay opens up against the wall, stunned in, and gets taken down. Yeah, too far up there without your Lulu behind you. But Licorice is getting so much damage out in this fight. They all pile in onto Luger. AblazeOlive gets into that back line. River's in on him as well. And as soon as Luger falls, there's just not really the damage to actually follow through in this fight. So it becomes this kind of long, drawn-out chase sequence. Where at the end of it, it is Golden Guardians getting even more.
And obviously, like, we will play Licorice. The dash over the Ahri to get away from the charm, definitely a really big deal. And the damage output is there. He's on 3 items. Randuin's is in for the Renekton. He is not dying anytime soon. Ahri does not want to focus him. We got this fight yet again. Cleanse up, ult up, no flash for the Twitch. On the CLG side, Dhokla has everything but his teleport. Luger, we'll see his items pretty soon. He is on a full 3. IE is in. If he is free hitting,
it's
he
so
is
hard.
killing people. Licorice wants to look at Poome. Poome's going to get them with the root, and they can burn him. They can burn him 3v1 here. So much damage on a Licorice. They push back the jungler. This could be an easy smite. Renekton is dead. The smite's going to be a formality for Contractz. You have to believe.
Reset.
Oh, this could look so good. Sivir's able to get for more. A nice slow comes across the flash tackle. They do not get AblazeOlive, but when they get Stixxay, he's going to try to fire out now. And does he have the damage, though? Contractz getting low. Contractz nearly burns. Contractz will die. The cleanse. Azonia's hourglass. Do they have the kill? The ulti claims it. A 2-for-1. Golden Guardians win the team fight in kills, but CLG claim the Drake.
Yeah, Stixxay's going to continue chasing here. Dhokla's ulti is going to expire. Poome trying to zone to make sure that they would see him if he was coming in. Very even game here again. The fight's back and forth. If you can't get to Stixxay, it is so difficult, and the cleanse has been invaluable for him. Olleh in his back pocket. CLG try to pile in and actually take him out, but if you can't burst him down immediately, that ulti with the Hurricane now is doing so much damage, and the 4th item is going to be that much more threatening. When he gets to IE, these squishy members are going to die so damn fast. Luger will be really in a lot of trouble. Like, you're going to be heavily outranged and DPS by this Twitch.
Whew! Reset again. Really good turn of Licorice. I mean, Poome sets it up, and then the rest of it just Stixxay lives. Yeah,
I thought as they turned, though, Golden Guardians would have burst down the dragon, but instead they kind of tried to look for a little bit of a fight themselves. Contractz stays around. The rejection on River is really what does it. So credit to Contractz, because as soon as River's knocked out, Golden Guardians can't finish the dragon anymore. That buys them time to actually get that kill. Dhokla's finishing off the dragon himself. AblazeOlive barely gets over the wall there. That was critical. And Stixxay just kiting back, then opens up. You're getting so much damage, and you can see they're trying to go in one at a time. Palafox goes in, pops a stopwatch, but look at Luger and Poome just getting roasted by the Hurricane bolts there from the Twitch. It's hard to close the gap. You kind of have to wait out that ulti and then try to get in, or you just straight up die on the approach. So Stixxay very, very strong here once more. His flash is up momentarily. It's the last seconds that it is cooling down. Won't have cleanse, but they are looking.
Root, slow, good zonage for the charm. Is there a re-engage? No, Poppy does not land the target, but AblazeOlive gets the Lulu, stays alive. 1-0. Ahri's already down. Dhokla trying to run for his life now. AblazeOlive flashed away from Contractz. Re-engage comes across. Luger is low. Twitch is far. He's ignited. He's got to dodge the boomerang blade. A flash shield from Olleh. The tackle for Contractz, and he knocks down the Twitch. A shield comes back in, staying alive for a moment, but Olleh finds that kill as well. Keep back in for Olive.
They're going to go for it. They have 4 members alive here. Stixxay is down, but Luger and Poome are so low on health here. Can they do anything about this? I don't think so. You just need to have someone threatening the flank. Licorice has TP, so there should be no shot to actually stop this Baron.
Poome is known that he is revealed. Putting the sweeper down. Licorice will actually stay instead to put the damage across. And they are bringing, now it is Hextech Rift. Again, Sivir is here faster than normal, and Baron will not die until Sivir is in the pit.
Really?
They make the call. So Smite is down for another 15 seconds. They say, we cannot sit at Baron 15 seconds and let Sivir hit us. And it might be the call that we feel comfortable in team fights. We don't need the risk.
Yeah, I mean, it feels a little bit dicey. The Twitch is getting very strong, but you know, Renekton, Volibear, and Lissandra have a limited amount of time in this game. And it looks like it may be a counter Baron here for CLG. Now, they did TP in, do pull off it now. They want to keep Golden Guardians interested, but will be spotted walking towards mid, and they do have a blue orb, so possibility that they go back towards it now. But Palafox and Poome looking for a potential turn, and they are going to start this up. I mean, I like this. If they're not willing to actually stay around and take the Baron themselves, you TP in, you start that counter play, and you force Golden Guardians in to respond.
Just going down fast, by the way. River has to ulti and smite pretty soon. E reveals 5k health to go in. Frontline Licorice getting burned, getting away. No! Contractz! No, that is not the target. He was a kill. And Stixxay's firing in the backline. River already drops over the wall. Contractz redeems himself with a wall stun. And it's a 2-0. Olleh yoinked back in. You have to believe Dhokla's going to get that one set up, and Luger's going to knock it down. 2 remain, and CLG set up Baron and just crush Golden Guardians.
Yeah, can they go for the end here? You've got to cut the wave somehow. If AblazeOlive and Licorice can't kill the wave, this is GG, and they're actually posturing beyond it. They need to get in there and kill that wave right now.
Charm's gonna land, he's dead, he's down, he can't even cast a single spell. And Licorice now left alone. Contractz pulls the aggro, doesn't care. It's gonna be Dhokla dropping a 1-for-1, a 2-for-1, a Bud Light ace. And CLG have taken the kills that they need. Still 10 seconds on everyone else who matters. Second turret will fall. Poome may drop to a tower. And in the end, it will not matter. Nexus should die. Another barn burner, 33 kills in 35 minutes. CLG reached match point.
Yeah, this one just absolutely exploded after what was a very scrappy but low kill early game. Team fight after team fight after team fight breaking out there. And CLG just playing their hand that little bit better. A little bit more coordinated, I think a little bit better decisions in the mid and late game. And this could have been Golden Guardians' game. It was very competitive, but some key moments where they really got punished, where I think they overplayed their hand. Stixxay got a little bit too aggressive a couple times. You know, and that's one of those things where you're playing on the Zeri, you can afford to kind of take the game into your own hands more. You can rely on yourself. But if Olleh is not there behind you, if your team is not around you protecting you, you can't really make those positioning errors on the Twitch. Does get punished pretty heavily, and CLG able to steal that game away. A really good turn at the Baron, though. You know, that initial play, the initial ult away, kind of saving Licorice. That one was a little bit rough. Maybe thought he was going to be able to finish him off with it, but then finding the tackle onto Stixxay over the wall. They did a good job of applying pressure to that Twitch and making his job difficult, and making any little positioning errors he did make really cost him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks to see because I've been a Stixxay fan since his very first split, where he helped CLG win the second straight championship against his old team. He said I could say whatever I wanted. He didn't really have a comment. I ran into him in the pregame and was like, "Hey, how you feeling?" He's like, "You say whatever you want, I don't care." So he hates CLG. It's just put it on record right there. He's not gonna make stuff up. But yeah, he did overstep, right? Ultimately, as much as I respect him, I think he's a very good player. I think he's still the most consistent member on the team. He overstepped, overplayed his hands, and a lot of what Golden Guardians lost is because he played too far up. And that is his fault. That is mistakes made. Still a very fun back and forth game. A lot of good plays on all sides regardless. Now we are going to head over to Stay from Analysis, though, talk about Game 3.